Hey y'all, I am home safe and sound. And before I left, Constance and I sat down on the sofa and we told our story as to how we became best friends. It's going to come in a little bit into the story because I had some technical difficulties with the audio. But basically, we met through an online celebrity chef who was doing some phone calls with her fans, and I was arranging those phone calls for her. So, do you remember the post that I put? I put some post out looking for the matriarchs of the house or something like that. Do you remember?
I don't really remember how you worded it either, but I knew it had something to do with you were looking for somebody.
And so as I was talking to her, she started telling me a little bit about her life, and I was like, this is the person that we want to have the phone call with. So I had arranged the phone call, and waited about, 15, 20 minutes at first?
Plus, I told you about some of the things that I had been through, especially during the civil rights movement and uh, working with the A Million Moms March and being a child advocate for like all the years that I had become one. And then we just went on, and that's how you knew. Plus, being voted one of the outstanding American top teachers. And I mean, it wasn't a big deal to me. Well, it was at the time, but I just thought that I would tell you about it, and that's how it all started.
Yeah, and that was just kind of during our small talk. I mean, she's been sprayed with fire hoses during the civil rights movement. I mean, she has fought for black women's rights to have a voice. I mean, is that a fair statement?
Yeah.
Okay. Like, I want to keep talking to her. So after a few minutes of us continuing to talk, an hour goes by and no one showed up on the call. And then we just kind of forgot that we were waiting on somebody to show up on the phone call because we just started talking. And there was just something about her that I was drawn to. There was something, I'm not ooky spooky, y'all. I'm not ooky spooky and uber spiritual, but it was a God thing. There was something, God was in the middle of the conversation, and I don't know what it was about talking to her that it just brought me comfort and it filled my heart up. And, I just wanted to keep talking to her. And so at the end of the conversation, I said, do you mind? I said, I really enjoyed talking to you. Do you mind if I call you back again and just chat? And she said, hell yeah, sure, anytime. Give me a call. And I was like, awesome. So then it was about a week later, I see this fabulous picture go up online. And it was with these sunglasses. So I called her and I said, Constance, I love your picture. And the funny thing is that the thing posted at like 3:00 in the morning. And I said, I like this lady. I said, she runs the same hours that I do. She's up all damn night. So I called her and I was like, Constance, I love your new picture. And those sunglasses are fabulous. And she had on a fierce ass shade of lip gloss. I mean, her lips were popping, baby. And she just looked good. And I was like, girl, what do you do? I said, what the hell are you doing up at 3:00 in the morning wearing these fabulous sunglasses with your lipstick on? And she said, well, why don't you tell? You want to tell him or you want me to tell him?
You can tell.
So she said, Justin, I'm going to try to do an impression of you, all right? Justin. Baby, I couldn't sleep. And I took me one of those Ambiens. And I'd never taken one before, so I didn't know what it was going to do to me. She says, honey, I took that Ambien, and that pill lied to me. It told me I had to get up in the middle of the night, put on my sunglasses, my lipstick, and start taking selfies. And I was like, what? She goes, I got up this morning and I had a new Facebook profile picture and I didn't even know who took the picture. Y'all, I lost my shit. I laughed for probably 2 days straight. I even made Teresa, I made her retell that story to Teresa at least 3 times. And Teresa's like, I know the story. I said, you hush and listen. It's funny. So at that point, every time her or me did something stupid, we'd call each other and tell each other about it. And then it just became, it was like before, it was no time at all. And we were just like, I craved talking to her. And I was like, and I remember asking her one day, I was like, am I taking up too much of your time? And she goes, no, I like talking to you too. And I was like, well, I think you might be my best friend. And
Yeah.
you said, yeah. And I was like, oh my God, I got a BFF. Y'all, I've been praying for a good BFF for so long. And here she is. So we talk every day. And that's just how it happened. And so I wanted to come visit her. And here, I'll tell a little bit about my experience here. So I was having some, at home, I was just feeling frustrated with everything all the time. It was like, no matter how good Teresa loved me, no matter how much my baby loved me, I felt angst. I just felt, what'd you say, just generally irritable I was acting? Right?
Right. That would probably be the best way to describe
Generally
it.
irritable.
Yeah.
And I couldn't understand why I was just so uncomfortable with my life, because I was happier with everything that's going on in my life than I'd ever been before. So it was like, I told Teresa, I said, I have to go see Constance. I said, I have to. I said, every fiber in my being tells me I have to go and see my friend and I have to spend time with her. And I didn't know why, but I just knew I did. And so Teresa said, well, if you feel that strongly, we're getting you a ticket. So we booked a ticket and I came here. And yesterday we were sitting here talking, and my whole life I've never really belonged. I've never felt like I belonged, and I didn't know what I was supposed to be doing, because I'm just I don't feel like other people feel about themselves. I don't think. I think I'm harder on myself. I think I'm very, very sensitive to other people's emotions, and I'm a sponge. And so it's just really hard for me to get clarity in my life as to what I'm supposed to be doing, and I'm always doubting myself and what I'm doing. And I was sitting here with Constance yesterday, and as we were sitting here talking, she just told me, she goes, Justin, she goes, I do believe that, well, actually, let me back up. We had the little meet and greet at the restaurant, and it was something that Cindy turned to me and said at the meet and greet. And it was just, she just gave me a series of encouraging statements about, like, you're on course, you're doing what you're doing, and you've blessed me. And, and I'm looking at her, and she drove 3 hours to come see me in Constance. And as she's sitting there telling me this stuff, it was like the scales were peeled off of my eyes. And I realized, that, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing all my life. I was in school. I tried to go to college to figure out what I wanted to do. That didn't work. I have a real hard time paying attention to things. Have y'all noticed? And the internet was made for me. And it was like, I just thought that I was having fun on the internet. I didn't know that it was really, really affecting people. I didn't. I thought that I was just having fun and being goofy and making people laugh every once in a while, hopefully. And I didn't know that, people got something else out of it, and they were getting the same thing out of it that I was getting, that I didn't realize I was getting. And I just didn't want, and I felt like, I remember I told you this, I said, I just feel like a douchebag, Constance, by letting people celebrate me and encourage me. I said, because I haven't really accomplished anything like you have in your life. And she's like, well, tell them. I'm talking for you.
No, but I did. I told you that when you said things that people were not really, first of all, you didn't want to go to the meet and greet because you did not think that people were going to come.
I didn't.
And I told you, don't think like that, Justin, because you're here for a reason. God brought you here, sent you here. He gave you Teresa, Cece, and all your friends, and your better half for a reason. So there is a particular reason why you are here. Go ahead. You say it better.
No, you said it better. And I realized that, I'm just supposed to keep doing what I'm doing and not overcomplicate it and not make things, just not overcomplicate it. Just keep it simple and let God use me, and stop fighting him, and stop trying to turn it into something that I want it to be. When I started putting my things on YouTube, and the whole, all of that stuff is monetized, and I got my very first $100, y'all, this past week. My very first $100 I've ever made on the internet. That's all the money I've ever made for what I'm doing over the last year's $100. And I got that last week, and I was like, I got greedy, and I was like, ooh, I want more of this. And then I realized that it only took me about 2 days of focusing on the money and how I could make money on it for me to realize that I wasn't interested in doing it anymore, when it was the money that was motivating me, as opposed to people being encouraged and having better lives and being happier and understanding that they're okay just the way that God made them, and that where they are in their lives is exactly where they're supposed to be. And I realized that God's using me as an example to show people that, hey, look at this weird dude. If he can find a place in this world, then you have a place in this world. And you do have a place in this world. You have a place. And it's here, doing exactly what you're doing right now. And because of Constance, I stopped doubting that. I stopped doubting that God wanted to use me, She said, if he can use an ass, he can use you. And God knows I can be an ass. Okay? A big one. A giant ass. Why are you grinning? You're not supposed to agree with things like that.
I know.
Woo, 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 woo. Ooh, I still have morning breath too, y'all. We're real close. I still got morning breath.
No, he doesn't.
It doesn't even matter. But it's just a real friendship that started with an accidental meeting that I now realize was not accidental. That God wanted it to happen exactly the way that it happened, and now He's given us a new gift to share with all of y'all, and I have Constance to thank for that, and I thank God for sending me Constance. So I guess we all have God to thank for that. So that's it. I can keep rambling, I guess. Should I, or should I end it?
I love Justin because I'm going on 75 years.
Sorry, my panties are ringing. Hold on 1 second. It's her sister calling. Lisa, if you're watching, honey, we're going to call you back. We're just making a video, okay, sweetheart?
At 74 years young. And Justin and I, it's like I never believed in reincarnation.
We were saying this last night.
Until Friday afternoon. Because when I saw Justin, it was like someone I had known all my life. There was not a moment when he came in when I hugged him. It was like God has said, I've sent your friend back to you.
And Teresa had called me that morning and said, was it uncomfortable at all, meeting for the first time?
Yeah.
And I was like, that word has not even been in my vocabulary since I got here. It was the most natural meeting of souls. I think it was like our souls met. It was like our physical body was happened to be in the room, but our souls were having a reunion, y'all.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's just how it is. It's like every moment we're together, I enjoy it. Even when we're just sitting down here on the sofa chatting, or she'll be sitting right there on her phone, I'm sitting here on my phone, and we're sitting here quiet. It's just like we just enjoy sharing space and time and love with each other. And we both have such a love for people and a hope for what people can become in this world, this broken world. We have such a hope for what it can be. And we can do it together, all of us. Not just me and her, all of us. So
Right.
I just thank y'all so much for what you've given me, and I thank you for what you've given me. You're my best friend.
My best friend.
I don't want to go. But I want to see my Teresa. Can I just get Teresa and Cece and just...
Yes.
We'll get the condo across the street. We're moving. She got all her kids living around her, y'all. Her kids in the condos all around. And sure enough, we finna move in. My accent will fit real. It'll fit in right well here in Detroit.
Yes.
We're not in Detroit. Where are we at, dear? Where are we at?
We're at the edge between Pontiac and the edge of Bloomfield Hills.
It's real fancy, y'all. It's beautiful. It is beautiful. Anyway, that's how we met, and that's how we became friends, and that's all. Okay? We love you. I love you. I can't speak for you.
I love you. I love you, my family. I love you.
We love you. And I don't know what else to say other than I love you. I love you. I love you. And if I could just hug and dry hump all of your legs, I would.
Love you.
Love y'all. Thank you so much. Bye.